My child, open your heart and receive the words I am about to speak. For this is the sacred hour I have appointed to awaken your soul. In these recent days, perhaps you have sensed an unease within your spirit, a silent yet undeniable stirring, as if something unseen is drawing near. This is no coincidence. I myself have placed that gentle alarm within you, like a wake-up call from eternity, so that you would not be caught unaware when the wave of testing begins to rise. I do not come to instill fear, but to lead you into safety. In the darkness of this age, there are things being orchestrated behind the veil, plans drawn by the hand of evil, schemes woven from places you would never suspect. Yet I, the one who sees all things, have come to reveal the truth to you, so you are not swept away by the whirlwind of chaos without direction. I desire that you walk in light and understanding, so that no force can cause you to stumble. In this world, those who stand against the light do not always bear frightening faces. They hide behind sweetness, pleasing words, and courteous behavior, but their hearts are full of rebellion and cruel intentions. I see clearly what your eyes cannot perceive. I know the hidden thoughts behind the counterfeit smiles. There are spirits being deployed to observe your family, to track the rhythms of each member, to probe for places of vulnerability. They are not merely people, but tools of darkness, empty vessels filled with evil. This is why I cannot remain silent. You are not permitted to move forward without spiritual discernment. At this hour, awareness is no longer optional, it is a matter of survival. Remember what I spoke through the prophet Elisha. Those who are with us are more than those who are with them. 2 Kings 6:16. But to see that, your spiritual eyes must be opened. You cannot behold the encampment of angels if your heart is preoccupied with earthly distractions. You cannot hear my voice if your mind is drowned in the noise of the world. So I draw you away to still yourself before me, to cleanse your ears, that you may hear my voice, soft, but full of authority. My beloved, return to the secret, place the place where only you and I exist. Shut out the noise. Cast off every worry. Do not carry unanswered questions with you, for I will give you peace that surpasses understanding. In my presence, you will find clarity, and there I will unveil to you things eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. I will reveal heavenly strategies to protect your most treasured circle, your family, from the enemy's infiltration. You must know this: not every battle is physical. Some wars can only be won through prayer. There are waves of attack no lock or fence can hold back. But the covering of prayer and my presence will cause them to vanish like smoke in the wind. You must build a spiritual perimeter around those you love. You must take your place as a watchman, an intercessor who will not let sleep steal their alertness. When Moses raised his hands, Israel prevailed. When he lowered them, the enemy gained ground. Exodus 17:11. That was no accident. It was a divine symbol of the power of prayer. I am calling you to that very place, where you lift up your spiritual hands not because you are strong, but because you are connected to my limitless power. Do not wait for the storm to build your shelter. Do not wait until you are wounded to seek healing. Prepare now. My child, begin today. My beloved, the time has come for you to rise in the power I have placed within you. You cannot afford to live passively while darkness grows and spiritual battles intensify. You must not live as though everything happening is by chance, as though the enemy has no interest in your family. as though your soul is not a battleground being contested by heaven and hell with every inch. No, my child, you are not invisible to the forces of darkness. But the great comfort is this: you are not invisible to me either. I know your name. I see every tear you cry. I hear every sigh from the depths of your heart that no one else can reach. I will never ignore the sincere cry of your heart. You must know this. When you open your mouth in prayer, all of heaven listens. Every whisper of faith, every kneeling in the still of night, every moment you choose, trust over worry these, reach my glorious throne. You are not just another face in the crowd. You are a part of my divine plan, an essential thread in the holy tapestry I am weaving across the earth. And for that plan to unfold, you must understand your role. You are the watchman on the wall, the keeper of the altar flame, the intercessor for your family, your community, and your nation. Look back at the generations before you. I called Noah to build an ark when there was no rain, called Abraham to leave his safe place and journey to an unknown land, called Joseph to remain faithful even when betrayed and imprisoned. None of them saw the full picture, but they chose to trust me. And because of that faith, I protected them, provided for them, and brought them into a success far beyond what they could have imagined. So it is with you. If you trust me in these days, even when you cannot see the whole canvas, I will move on your behalf. My child, do not be deceived by the outward calm of your current circumstances. True peace is not when everything around you is quiet, but when your heart is anchored in me. No matter the storm, there are schemes being devised in the dark, plans of evil trying to find their way into your home through indifference, through the open door of unguarded entertainment, through seemingly harmless conversations that sow seeds of doubt, through weariness that causes you to miss your moments of prayer. I do not say these things to frighten you, but to make you alert. I am your loving Father, and I will not let you be ambushed if you will listen to my voice. Do not dismiss the warnings in your spirit. Do not ignore that vague unease that lacks a logical explanation. That is how my spirit alerts you. These are signals in your soul that I am sending to prevent you from being deceived. Just as a mother rises at the sound of her baby's cry in the middle of the night, without needing to understand why, that is love's reflex. So it is with me. Dear one, I feel every trembling in your spirit, and I warn you not out of judgment, but out of care. I do not delight in seeing my people go astray, and I cannot stand by while the enemy tries to snatch away what is most precious in your life. Remember this, not everyone is called to do what you are doing. Not everyone is entrusted with the keys to stand at the threshold and guard their family. But you were chosen. Before you ever cried your first cry, I knew who you would be. I wrote your story in the palm of my hand. Not a single day of your life has ever been beyond my reach. You were not born to wander in the dark, but to carry light into the deepest places. You were not made to drift with the current, but to influence the flow. You are not a victim, you are royalty. For I have placed authority upon you to trample on serpents and scorpions, and nothing shall harm you as you walk in obedience. So do not live as one who is drifting aimlessly. Live as one who is divinely directed. Rise each day, not in fear, but in purpose. Let every prayer you speak become an arrow that pierces the darkness. Let every moment alone with me be a place where your strength is renewed. Let your faith grow day by day, not anchored in feelings, but grounded in my word. steadfast, unchanging, like the eternal rock. My beloved child, when I look at you in the midst of this chaotic world, my heart is not discouraged. On the contrary, I am filled with hope. For while many are chasing after voices that vanish like mist, I see you still listening for mine, even when you are not always strong, even when your heart feels weary. I see in you a heart that longs to walk in the right direction. That is what I treasure above all, not because you are perfect, but because you are honest, not because you are always strong, but because you have not given up, not because you know everything, but because you never stop seeking me. My precious one, this is what pleases me. This is what causes heaven to open and breathe new life into you. But my child, the path ahead cannot be walked by fleeting emotions. No matter how intense, emotions are but passing winds. True faith, however, is built through a relationship with might, is a firm foundation. I do not desire that you only come to me when danger knocks, only to drift away when all is calm. I am inviting you to walk with me daily when the sun shines brightly and even when dark clouds loom overhead. For, my child, what I long for is not just your actions, but your heart's devotion. I do not seek hollow rituals. I long for you to know me as a father, as one in whom you can place your complete trust. Many things in this life will test your faith. There will be times when you are misunderstood, times when you are disappointed in yourself. There will be days when you pray and it seems no answer comes. But do not let that cause you to retreat. Do not let temporary silence make you doubt my love. Just as a tree roots deeper in winter to bloom in spring, I am at work in the silence, preparing things beyond what you can imagine. When you persevere, you are sowing in tears, so that one day you may reap in joyful songs. When you do not give up, you are building unseen walls of protection, walls that the world may not see. But heaven acknowledges, understand this, nothing you do in obedience is ever overlooked. Not a single prayer falls to the ground without bearing fruit, even if you do not see the result right away. Every tear you shed for my sake is kept in my sacred jar. I remember every moment you chose forgiveness over retaliation. Every time you remained silent instead of speaking words that wound. Every step you took toward me when everything seemed to resist. These are the signs that faith in you is alive. And for this reason, I will not abandon you. I am shaping you to become a light in the darkness, not so you may be seen, but so that my light through you may reach forgotten places. You will be the answer to someone's silent cry. I will use your voice to lift up the broken-hearted, say. I will use your hands to soothe the pain this world cannot heal. But for that to happen, you must first be filled. That is why I am calling you back, not to rebuke, but to replenish, not to accuse, but to heal, not to revisit the past, but to open the door to the future. My beloved, I do not seek perfection from you. But surrender. If you offer me your broken pieces, I will craft something marvelous. If you allow me into the darkest chambers of your soul, I will shine my light and make all things new. Do not think that I can only work in the light. I am the one who created both dawn and dusk. I am there when you are radiant, and I remain when you are shattered. My presence is not subject to your emotions. It is a constant reality, more steadfast than anything you have ever known. So do not look back on your past as though it binds you. Look forward. A new chapter is unfolding. I am continuing the story of your life with eternal love and wisdom. No one can erase the lines I have written into the blueprint of your destiny. All I ask is that you walk with Maoni step at a time. Each step, a step of faith. Each act of faith, a testament that you belong to me. My child, the time you are living in is unlike seasons that have passed. This is not merely another phase of life. It is a profound shift season where the spiritual realm is stirring, and every decision you make now carries eternal weight. What once seemed ordinary now bears sacred significance. The words you speak, the thoughts you harbor, and even the smallest of choices are shaping the spiritual map of your life. That is why I speak to you today, not so you walk in confusion, but in the brilliant light of divine wisdom. My child, every era in history has had those who were called, awakened, and sent forth in obedience to fulfill my great purpose. Moses did not stumble upon the burning bush by chance. Elijah did not march into battle with false prophets on a whim. Daniel did not coincidentally live righteously in the midst of traps and temptations. They were chosen. They were led. They were entrusted with my words. And today, my child, I am not speaking about someone else. I am speaking about you. You are part of a divine plan being revealed on earth. You are not a product of randomness. You are not just a number in a crowd. You carry within you the imprint of a calling, a word that was engraved into your soul before the foundation of the world. Know this: I did not call you merely to exist, but to live with purpose. That purpose may not look grand in the eyes of the world, but it is great in the eyes of heaven because it is born of obedience. Every time you choose prayer over complaint, forgiveness over revenge, my word over fleeting feelings, you are laying down an unshakable foundation. My child, I am calling you to be a part of the current of spiritual restoration. You will be a point of contact between heaven and earth. Wherever your feet tread, light will shine. Wherever your mouth opens, life will flow. But that will only happen when you allow me to work within you before I work through you. Many ask to be used by me, yet they do not let me refine them. They desire miracles, but reject discipline. They love wonders, but shy away from purification. So, my child, if you truly long to walk in true power, you must let me place you on the workbench of my spirit. I will strip away what no longer fits into my plan. I will break the things that make you proud. I will expose the shadows so that my light can heal them. This is not punishment. It is preparation. Like a blacksmith melting metal to forge a weapon, I am refining you. For I know the battles ahead will require pure faith and a heart no longer divided. And in that process, you may feel alone. You may wonder why doors are closing. You may feel forgotten. But, my child, it is in the most desolate places that I speak most clearly. It was in the wilderness that I spoke to Moses. It was in the stillness that Elijah heard the gentle whisper of my presence. And it is in the secret place that I now wait for you. Do not fear the silence. Do not flee the process. Do not look for shortcuts. For it is in these hidden moments that I am writing the most important chapters of your life, the ones no one sees, but that form the foundation for all the miracles to come. My beloved child, I know you have felt the weight of waiting the confusion between the promises I have spoken and the reality you are living in. There have been days you sat in silence, wondering why I haven't spoken. There have been nights you tossed and turned, unable to understand why what I promised has not yet come to pass. But my child, listen closely to my voice deep within your spirit. I have never been silent. I am inviting you into a deeper dimension of faith. In the waiting, your faith is not fading, it is growing. In the stillness, your soul is not abandoned, it is being nourished by my invisible yet powerful presence. Do not mistake delay for denial. What I do is not constrained by human timelines. I am not bound by schedules or clocks. When I plan something, I see not just the beginning and the end. I see the entire flow of time and every beat of your heart. And sometimes, you won't understand why I postpone. You do not see the snares I've removed from your path. You do not know the prayers I've answered by shielding you from what seemed like a blessing, but was in truth a disguised collapse. I am a father who doesn't simply give you what you want. I give you what you need to live rightly within my divine design. Oh, child, waiting is never wasted time. It is a season where I sow perseverance into your heart, where I shape your mind to become like Christ. As you walk patiently through each day, your heart is being formed to seek my will above your own. When you no longer demand immediate answers, you begin to learn to trust in my character and who I am, the one who never breaks a promise. And in this process, you are being transformed, not because your circumstances have changed, but because you are changing. Your heart is becoming deeper, stronger, and more resilient under pressure. And one day, you will see that what I am doing in you is far more important than what I do for you. My child, one truth I long for you to grasp today is this: hope is never in vain when placed in me. Even if the door has not yet opened, even if the miracle has not yet arrived, even if the promise remains unfulfilled, if your hope is in me, you will never be put to shame. People around you may doubt. Even you might feel your faith trembling. But in the depths of your soul, where I dwell, you will find a peace that is unmoved by external circumstances. That peace is the evidence that I am present, that I am still holding your hand and leading you along your life's path. And child, there is a greater reason for the waiting. I am using you as a living testimony to others. They will look at you and see faithfulness. They will wonder how you can stand firm amidst disappointment, how you can praise when everything seems to be falling apart. And then they will see it is because your foundation is not emotion, not circumstances, but me. Your living testimony will become a torch of light for souls in despair. The way you wait will inspire others to wait in faith. Your perseverance will be proof to them that I am truly faithful. Oh, my child, when you walk through seasons where nothing seems to move, remember, silence does not mean absence. Some of my most powerful works are done in the quietest moments. In that silence, I am arranging what you cannot yet see. I am turning hearts, opening doors in the dark, shifting people into place who will bless you even in areas you never prayed for. I am working beyond your understanding, for the plans I have for you are far greater than what your finite mind can comprehend. My child, you once thought I had forgotten you, that my promise to you had been permanently delayed. But what you didn't see is that I've been protecting that promise from the enemy's destruction. If I gave you what you longed for before you were ready, it could become a burden instead of a blessing. Because I love you, I do not respond to momentary cries, but I act according to truth and mercy with eternity in view. So when it seems I am silent, know that I am teaching you how to hear me, not through sound, but through trust, in delay. Layers of perseverance are being forged within your spirit. Every time you choose to believe me without seeing, every moment you wait without complaining, every prayer you offer without visible results but still surrender, these are the things transforming you from the inside out. I am shaping you into a vessel strong enough to carry my glory without breaking under the weight. What seems like barren seasons are the very times I lay the deepest foundations within you, for no tower can rise high without first being grounded deep. I am building within you a spiritual structure that will not be shaken when the storms come. My dear one, there will come a time when the curtain is drawn back. What you once longed for will be revealed, but not in the way you imagined. It will come with peace, not confusion. It will come with clarity, not doubt. You will understand why I waited until that very moment. You will see how every detail fits perfectly together, like a painting crafted by my own hand. And you will weep not tears of disappointment, but tears of deep gratitude, when you realize I never left your side, not for a single moment. My child, in the years to come, you will stand before others who doubt just as you once did. You will take their hand, look into their eyes, and say, I know that feeling. I once thought he forgot me, but he never did. And your words, your testimony will pierce through their darkness. Because you have tasted my faithfulness in the night, now you will carry that light for others. This is why your waiting has never been meaningless. It has not only built you, it has prepared you to be a place of comfort for others. I want you to know, not one moment of your life has been wasted. Every sigh, every tear, every whispered prayer, I remember them all. Every time you called out to me in loneliness, every time you sang praise when your heart was breaking, they have all risen to my throne as a fragrant offering. I not only heard you, I engraved those moments into the eternal memory of heaven. And when the day of glory comes, when all things are made known, you will see that your treasure was not in what you received, but in how you remained faithful even when you had not yet seen. So, stand firm. Do not let delay steal your zeal. Do not let disappointment overshadow your hope. Do not let the darkness cause you to forget that I am the unchanging light. Even as you walk through a shadowed valley, I am the one who leads you. Even when you feel empty, I am filling you with what you have not yet perceived. Keep moving forward. Keep praying. Keep believing. For the harvest is coming, and your faithfulness will be rewarded with glory. My beloved child, I am leading you into a new season known where obedience is no longer just a response, but a way of life. I am not looking for partial submission, nor do I desire that you follow me only when the path is easy. I am seeking in you a heart that is willing to obey even when you have no answers, even when every door ahead seems shut, and even when obedience requires the surrender of something precious. For it is in such moments that your faith is tested and your love for me is proven. You see, sometimes obedience is not about choosing between right and wrong, but between what is good and what is better. Many have been misled by paths that seemed logical, but were not the paths I had chosen. Many hearts have pursued opportunities without seeking my counsel, only to find themselves lost in a maze of doors that were never theirs to enter. But I am calling you to walk the path I have marked out, a path not always smooth, but always filled with my presence. And you will only walk that path rightly if you learn to obey my voice deeply. Obedience does not begin with outward actions, but with a willing heart, a heart that says yes even before it knows what I will ask, a heart that does not demand explanations, but trust that whatever I command is for your eternal good. It was Abraham who obeyed when I told him to leave his homeland, though he did not know where he was going. Because of that obedience, I made him the father of many nations. In the same way, if you are willing to obey in the small things today, I will entrust you with greater things tomorrow. My child, I know there have been times when you did not understand why I asked you to let go of a relationship, an opportunity, or a dream that seemed beautiful. But you do not know what I know. You cannot see what I see. What you thought was loss was often my protection. What you perceived as delay was me rearranging everything so you could receive more fully. And it is precisely when you choose to obey that I can fill you with what no one can ever take away from you. My child, obedience requires you to release control. It demands that you trust, I love you enough never to lead you astray. It asks that you hand over the leadership of your life to Mano just when you need help, but at all times, in every circumstance. When you do, you will step into a spiritual flow where unshakable peace and divine wisdom abide. I do not promise that you will never face hardship, but I do promise that you will never walk alone, and that every challenge will become a foundation for me to reveal my glory through your life. Remember, obedience is not a burden, it is a privilege. For every time you obey me, you are stepping closer to the purpose for which I created you. Every time you say yes to me, you are opening the way for miracles, for protection, and for insight you've never known. Obedience is the key that unlocks heaven's treasures. It is the path that draws you closer to my heart. And you will find that in obedience lies your greatest freedom from life's confusion, from the pressure to please others, from the chains of fear, and from the cycle of misguided decisions. Therefore, if today I call you to change something, a habit, a relationship, a direction, do not hesitate. Hesitation is where the enemy plants doubt. Hesitation is where faith begins to waver. But if you act the moment you hear my voice, you will step into a flow of surrender and receive blessings far beyond what you expect. Do not wait for everything to be favorable. Do not wait until you feel ready. Obedience does not require perfection, only a willing heart. And as you step out, I will walk with you, strengthen you, uphold you, and make a way for you even where your eyes have never seen. My beloved child, when you choose to obey me wholeheartedly, you are not merely taking a different path, you are stepping into a higher realm of divine protection. There are things you will never know you were rescued from, simply because I cut them off at the root the moment you said yes to me. Your obedience is not merely a personal act, it is a spiritual echo that reverberates through the unseen realm, shaking every scheme the enemy is plotting. The enemy constantly seeks to dim the light I have placed within you. But obedience is a flame that cannot be extinguished. Every time you heed my voice, an invisible wall is raised around you, though your eyes may not see it. My angels are at work on your behalf. Their arms are not only upholding you, but also fighting, shielding, and intercepting poisoned arrows launched from the most unexpected directions. I have sent my angels ahead of danger, long before it ever reached your doorstep. What you thought was mere coincidence, a delay, a change of schedule, something not going according to plan, was often my intervention to keep you from harm. There are plots devised in the shadows, masked behind a facade of kindness. But I am the one who illuminates all that is hidden. When you walk in obedience, I will expose what needs to be revealed. I will give you spiritual sight to discern smooth words spoken from deceitful hearts, to recognize toxic connections disguised as harmless ones. And when I show you these things, you must be ready to sever them, even if your heart resists. I do not warn you so that you hesitate. I do not open your eyes so that you close them again. I reveal in order that you may walk freely and avoid the traps laid before you. Remember Joseph, my servant. It was because he obeyed my voice through a dream that he took Mary and the child and fled to Egypt, escaping Herod's murderous intent. Had he delayed even a single night, the worst could have happened. Timely obedience was the key that preserved both life and destiny. In the same way, if I warn you whether through a dream, a stirring in your heart, or a word from another, do not dismiss it. Warnings that come from me always carry mercy. For I do not awaken you to condemn, but to save. When you obey, you make room for my unlimited intervention. There are battles you were never meant to fight on your own, and you must not try to. I have not called you to bear every burden alone, but to step back and allow me to fight for you. Yet I act fully only when you relinquish control through obedience. I am Jehovah Nissi, Lord your banner. I do not fail. I do not retreat. I do not flinch before any force of darkness, but I only move when you say, Father, not my will, but yours be done. Although, my child, let me be the one who fights. Do not worry. Do not argue with people. Do not strive to prove your point. When you obey, you are giving me space to vindicate you, to clear the path ahead, and to lock shut doors that lead to danger. The enemy may roar, but he cannot devour a soul hidden beneath my wings. Curses may be spoken, but they hold no power over a life covered by the blood of the Lamb. Schemes may be spun, but they will dissolve like mist in the sunlight of my presence. So do not fear loneliness in obedience. Do not dread being misunderstood. Do not grieve what I ask you to release. For whatever you place in my hands through surrender, I will replace with something stronger, better, and more glorious. When you obey, you are writing a new history not just for yourself, but for your family and for the generations after you. The silent decisions you make today will become the loud testimonies of tomorrow. The tears you shed in secret, choosing my way, will become public rejoicing when I reveal your reward. After the rains of obedience, my child, comes the sky of glory. What you have endured in quiet, I will use to lift you up in the midst of many. What you have faithfully refused, I will exchange for treasure that cannot perish. Every seed of surrender you've planted will not vanish into barren soil, for I, the Lord of the harvest, never allow a single tear of yours to fall without bearing fruit. You cannot yet imagine the glory I am preparing. Not a fleeting reward, but one that flows from eternity. There are blessings you will see, even now, as signs along the way, so that you will know I am with you. But there are also things I will withhold until the appointed time when every door is opened, and you step fully into the destiny written for you before the foundation of the world. Then, you will look back and understand why I asked you to wait, why I led you the long way, why I closed doors that seemed like opportunities. Do not be afraid when you see others moving ahead faster, being praised, celebrated, and noticed while you walk quietly in obedience. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. Just as David was overlooked in the fields while his brothers stood before the prophet, I still sent my prophet to where he was and anointed him in the presence of those who had once despised him. I am the one who chooses the lowly to shame the wisdom of this world. When you humble yourself, it is I who will lift you up. And when I lift you up, no one can bring you down. When I give you a name, no one can erase it. When I open a door, no power can shut it. What you are enduring today will become the very material through which my glory will be proclaimed tomorrow. I will use you as a signpost for those walking the silent path of obedience, to show them that I am faithful. Do you remember my promise? Whoever is faithful with little will be entrusted with much. You have walked through smallness without complaint. You have served when no one saw. You have prayed when no one heard. You have loved when it was not returned. And now I say to you, the time has come. This is the season where I will begin to reveal what has been quietly growing. Your roots have gone deep, and so your foundation will be firm. You have been tested by wind and fire, so you can withstand the heights I am preparing for you. Even so, do not forget that glory is not the destination, it is a transition. When I raise you higher, you will need me all the more. When the light shines upon you, you must reflect my glory and not hold it for yourself. Success must not become your resting place, but a deeper place of surrender. I did not bring you into the promised land for comfort, but so you could become a stream of blessing to others. Remember, every gift I give carries with it a responsibility. Every glory bears a calling. Every word of praise must be returned to me. If not, what was given to you can become a burden rather than a blessing. But if you remain in me, keep your heart pure, and walk in reverence, then nothing will hinder my hand from using you. Prepare your heart, for new doors are about to open. Invitations, assignments, and divine appointments long set in motion are drawing near. You do not need to assert yourself. I will be your voice among the crowd. You do not need to compete. I will place you in the right place, at the right time, before the right people. You do not need to strive, for I am your portion, and I withhold no good thing from those who walk uprightly. So keep your heart childlike. Continue seeking my face, not merely my hand. Let your soul be reminded that the greatest reward is not the blessing, but me. I am the treasure. I am the source of life. I am the immeasurable reward, and if you have me, you lack nothing. My beloved, even now, I am calling you into an entirely new season, a season of commissioning, of divine strategy, and of spiritual influence beyond anything your eyes have yet seen. This is no longer the time for merely receiving it, is the moment for becoming an instrument in my hand. You once asked why your trials were so intense, but now you will understand. I was not only preparing you to endure, but to lead and to impact. I was not only healing you, but shaping you to be a vessel of healing for others. Every tear you have shed has not been forgotten. They have watered the very seeds of the harvest I promised. You must know this: what I am calling you into cannot be fulfilled by your own strength. This is a work that can only be accomplished through the guidance of the Holy Spirit and the power that comes from on high. You must not rely on your own understanding, old experiences, or human strategies. My child, this is a season of revelation. Every step must be taken in prayer. Every decision must be weighed through my perspective. Every relationship must be discerned clearly, for you are no longer in the safety of learning. But in the battlefield of influence, you are no longer hidden in the shadows. I am bringing you into the light, where all eyes will see. And because of this, you must guard your heart in purity. Keep your hands clean, and protect your mind from the illusion of worldly glory. I am leading you into new territories, not just geographic, but spiritual. I will cause you to encounter unexpected people, those with influence in society, those once thought unreachable, and those whose souls are thirsting for true life but are still bound in darkness. I will place my words in your mouth, precise and timely. Topirse hearts. You do not need to appear wise or convincing. My presence in you is the greatest confirmation. Remember, Moses once said he was slow of speech, yet I made his mouth a channel of power. In the same way, I will make your words carry weight not because of eloquence, but because I dwell upon your tongue. Still, I remind you of this: with sending comes weight. It carries the burden of watching and responsibility. When my hand lifts you higher, the enemy will also seek to challenge that place. You must stay alert. Do not let praise dull your spiritual sharpness. Do not let human recognition make you forget that everything you have is from me. No matter how many invitations come, how many doors open, you must protect the one essential thing: to remain close to me. For there is nothing more valuable than my presence in every moment you live. My child, in this season, I will train you in a new way, not through isolation as before, but right in the midst of the battlefield. I will allow you to witness the spiritual battles taking place behind the scenes of your life and the lives of those entrusted to you. You will no longer be merely an observer. You are to be a warrior in this war. I will give you spiritual eyes to see the hidden, spiritual ears to hear even the faintest sound in the unseen realm, and the courage to act even when no one stands with you. Do not fear being different. Do not shrink back when you find yourself unlike the others. I did not call you to blend in. I called you to shine. Light does not need permission to shine. It simply needs to be present. And when the light you carry is ignited by the eternal source that is me, darkness cannot resist it. Though storms may rise, that light will endure. Though you may be misunderstood, opposed, or isolated, remember, you are not alone. A host of angelic warriors marches with you, and I myself go before you, making the way, opening doors, and shielding you. This is not the time to hesitate. My child, this is the time to act. This is the hour when what I have planted within you will begin to sprout, blossom, and bear fruit 100-fold. But for that to happen, you must step out of the familiar and into the land I have promised. You will see not with natural eyes, but with faith, not by conquering in your own strength, but through surrender. When I send you into the battlefield, I do not send you empty-handed. I am not one who merely gives commands and watches from afar. No, I am the one who goes before you, surrounds you, and backs you with all the resources of heaven. But to stand firm amidst the shifting heavens and the moving forces of the unseen realm, you must be equipped with weapons not made by human hands. For the battle you face is not of flesh and blood, but against rulers, against powers, against spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Therefore, you cannot wear human armor. You must be clothed in the armor of light that comes from me. First, I call you to take up faith as your shield. Faith in me is not a positive thought, it is a holy force, capable of extinguishing every flaming arrow of the enemy. When accusations are hurled at you, when negative thoughts try to invade, when circumstances attempt to choke your hope, it is faith that will be your barrier, keeping despair from seeping in. But faith does not grow on its own. It grows as you hear and meditate on my word. So let my word be your daily nourishment. Do not let a day pass without drinking from the fountain of life. The more you feed from me, the stronger your heart will become, and then your faith will stand unshaken. Next, I give you the sword of the Spirit, the word spoken from your mouth in harmony with my word. You do not overcome with ideas. You do not overcome with emotions. You overcome with the word etched upon your heart and released with authority. When you speak what I speak, heaven and earth must obey, just as Jesus, in the wilderness, overcame the tempter, not by might, but by saying, "It is written," so must you. You do not need to reason with the darkness. You need only declare the light, and when that word flows from a heart forged in surrender, it becomes a sharp sword, severing every unseen chain seeking to bind your life. I also command you to wear the helmet of salvation. You must guard your mind, for the enemy often does not come with a sword, but with a whisper. He plants ideas of worthlessness, abandonment, and failure. But I tell you this, no one can strip you of your identity when you are sealed in my love. Remember, you are a child of light, an heir to an unshakable kingdom. Let this truth cover your head and protect you from every voice that does not come from me. Each morning as you rise, speak to your soul, I am a child of the Most High. Nothing can separate me from His love. And as you declare that, a wave of glory will move through the spiritual realm, driving back the shadows lurking at your door. My beloved, I also command you to wear the shoes of the gospel of peace. This means you are sent not to fight with words, but to bring reconciliation. You will not always need to defend yourself. Sometimes your silence will be the loudest proclamation of my power within you. When you walk in forgiveness, when you refuse to retaliate, when you love even those who oppose you, you crush the enemy under your feet. You don't need to rush, just walk steadily. For I have gone before you, and wherever you place your foot, if you walk in my name, that ground becomes holy. Clothe yourself in the breastplate of righteousness, not righteousness earned by deeds, but righteousness given by me through the blood of my Son. That righteousness guards your heart from all condemnation. The enemy will always try to remind you of your past, your flaws, your unfinished places. But I say to you, there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. Let your heart be covered by this truth, and no spear of shame will be able to pierce you again. You stand not because you are flawless, but because I have forgiven you and called you righteous. Finally, I teach you to pray in all things. Prayer is not an option, it is breath. You cannot survive the battlefield if you do not live in prayer. But prayer is not repetition, it is a living connection with me. Let your conversation with me continue throughout the day. In every situation, when you are weak, pray. When you are strong, pray. When you do not know the way, pray. For when you pray, I move. And when you do not know what to ask, my Spirit intercedes for you with groans too deep for words. You are never alone, I am there, hearing every word and acting with every step. My child, when you are clothed with the armor I have given you, it is not so you may stand still behind closed doors. but so you may go forth and exercise authority in a world steeped in darkness. You were not called to hide from reality, but to transform it through my presence within you. The armor I equip you with is not meant to be kept in some spiritual showcase. It is meant to be used, to function, to be activated. I have not given you armor merely for defense, but for advancing in holiness, in truth, and in love. For every step you take, led by the Holy Spirit, will cause darkness to retreat. Every word that flows from a heart filled with my presence will shake the invisible powers that still reign over territories yet to be redeemed. Do not think that you must wait until you are strong enough, ready enough, or knowledgeable enough before you can step out. No, I chose you not because you were already enough, but because I will make you enough through every act of obedience. Fullness does not precede action, it comes in the process of walking. Just as Gideon did not see himself as a mighty warrior, yet when I called him mighty man of valor, he became exactly what I declared. Just as Moses hesitated to speak before Pharaoh, yet his words became the cry of deliverance for an entire nation. You do not need to be perfect to be used. You only need to surrender, and I will complete the rest. I do not need you to have all the answers. I need you to be willing to listen, willing to go, willing to speak what I place in your heart. You do not need to stand on a grand stage to influence the world. Sometimes, a whisper in the night, a quiet act of mercy, or a tear-filled prayer of intercession is enough to shake the heavens. For I do not measure power by noise or numbers, but by obedience. One obedient soul can open heaven's gates for an entire lineage. One intercessor can alter the destiny of a city. One courageous heart in the face of persecution can inspire a generation to rise in righteousness. Therefore, do not limit yourself by the frameworks of this world. You are not a tool of earthly systems, but an instrument in my hand crafted according to a divine design, appointed for a mission that cannot be replaced. Your very presence signals that I am at work in that place. Do not judge yourself through the eyes of men, for my eyes see what others cannot. I see within you a flame that has never gone out. Even if life's storms have tried to dim it, I see a seed of hope, a flicker of light small, yet enough to guide others groping in the dark. And I am rekindling that flame. I am renewing the oil within you. I am placing in you a vision broader, deeper, and more sacred than ever before. My child, do not fear the doors that are closing, for I do not use the doors of man to lead you into your destiny. The doors I open, no one can shut, and I will open them in my way, at my time. When your heart is soft, when you have learned to trust without wavering, you are not a victim of circumstance. You are a carrier of solutions to it. You were not born to live a fading existence and vanish into obscurity. You were born to illuminate a land long covered in darkness, and that light is not your own, it is mine. The light of the one who lives in you, who calls you by name, who laid his hand upon you before the foundations of the earth. And now, I am calling you into a new level, no longer walking by emotion, but by steadfast faith, no longer living on the surface, but digging deep into the foundations. I am teaching you to hear not just with your ears, but with your spirit. I am teaching you to see not just with your eyes, but with discernment. You will no longer react to circumstances, but act according to divine guidance. This is the time for you to walk as a mature son or daughter not wavering, not passive, but fully aware of who you are in my kingdom, acting with rightful authority. O my beloved child, when you come into this understanding, you will no longer fear the enemy, for you will know you are covered. You will no longer be anxious about the future, for you will know I hold tomorrow. You will no longer be tossed by noise, for your ears will be tuned to my voice alone. And wherever you go, heaven will walk with you. Wherever you stand, darkness will tremble. Wherever you pray, the impossible will become possible. Step forward not by your own strength, but by the power of the one who dwells within you. Stand firm not because your circumstances are stable, but because you are anchored in unshakable truth. Remember, I walk with you, and nothing can separate you from my love. No darkness is greater than the light you carry. The time is now. Step out. Act. Shine. My child, the time you are entering is unlike any phase you have known before. You have passed through trials, fought unseen battles, wept in silence, and walked in darkness with only a flicker of hope buried deep within your soul. But I tell you now, those steps were not in vain. Every step you've taken through seasons of pain stands as a testimony to your faithfulness. The small prayers, the quiet acts of obedience that seemed unseen by anyone, they have all touched my heart. You may have thought you were being delayed or forgotten, but in truth, you were being prepared to enter into something that is reserved only for souls who have endured with perseverance. Now, I am opening before you a door that no one can shut. I am not merely making a way. I am establishing your place in the very setting where I intend to move mightily. What you have endured has cleared the path for what you are about to receive. Not a single tear you shed was wasted. Not a single gray day was meaningless. Everything I allowed was orchestrated to lead you to this moment, the hour, when I affirm you as the bearer of the mission I ordained for you since the beginning. You do not need to nominate yourself, for I chose you before you even knew my name. You do not need to fight for recognition, for my affirmation is greater than any earthly applause. I see within you a tender heart, a spirit that listens, and a faith that is quiet yet genuine. You kept your integrity when it would have been easier to give up. You continued praying even when there were no immediate answers. You did not walk away even when no one stood with you. That is why I can entrust you with a greater portion of my divine plan. I do not look for outward perfection. I look for a yielded heart. And my child, you have shown me that heart when no one else was watching. I will lead you into a new movement, a transformation that is not merely circumstantial or material, but an inner expansion, a spiritual awakening to see what you had only heard of before. You will walk in a wisdom not born of books, but of revelation. You will speak words not born of intellect, but from the Holy Spirit. You will see doors open not because of effort, but because of surrender. And none of this is random. It is the result of a process that heaven has been meticulously preparing for you all along. My child, I call you to prepare your heart, for the transition is not only something I am doing for you, but something I am doing through you. You will become a vessel of influence within your family, your community, and for many who are waiting to hear the echo of heaven, your boldness will not come from fleshly confidence, but from the inner assurance that I am with you. Your words will no longer be the product of personal striving, but will carry spiritual weight that touches the souls of others. Each step you take will sow seeds of life into once wounded ground. Each word you release will shatter the silence of despair, and you will see as, with your own eyes, you will see that transformation will happen not only in outward circumstances, but first within your very being. You will no longer be driven by fear, shaken by doubt, or paralyzed by uncertainty. You will walk as one who knows who has sent them, and why they have been sent. Your eyes will burn with the fire of faith. Your voice will carry the sound of heaven, and your hands will become instruments of healing, of building, and of deliverance. But all this will only come to life as you continue to keep your heart soft before men, proud because of the gifts, not arrogant because of the anointing, but ever sensitive to the whisper of my breath. My child, this is the hour in which I lift you not to be seen, but to be a light in my hand. The world doesn't need more noise, it needs light. Souls don't need more arguments, they need truth manifested through love. And I am placing you where you can do just that, not because you pleaded for it, but because I saw something in you that even you did not recognize. Now the hidden will be revealed, the buried will be unearthed, the delayed will be accelerated. You are no longer bound by the limitations of the past, for I am breaking off every chain, every unseen bondage, every word of defeat that once held your heart captive. This is your hour. My faithful one, rise up, do not hesitate. My arms are open wide, you only need to step in. The rest, I will accomplish. My beloved, let me show you what no human eye has seen and no mortal ear has heard, that every movement in the natural realm is birthed from a decree in the spiritual. And in this very moment, heaven is trembling with the release of a new word over your life. You are not simply passing through a random season. You are standing at the threshold of a divine era, where all the forces of creation are aligning to fulfill what I have spoken. You are no longer a bystander, you are an active participant, positioned at the center of this unfolding. I do not design circumstances to test you without purpose. I design them to elevate you with spiritual authority and steadfastness. When I declare, your hour has come, it doesn't mean you understand everything. It means I am beginning to lead you to places no one has gone before, to open paths no one has yet walked. You do not need to see everything to begin, you only need to be willing to follow the call. Every passing day is part of the divine map I am scripting for your life. And my child, what I have written cannot be erased, cannot be delayed, cannot be denied any longer. Just as a river bursts forth when the dam is released, so too shall the anointing, the revelation, and the calling upon you pour out like a flood from heaven, powerful, pure, and unstoppable. I know you once thought you weren't big enough, influential enough, or ready enough. But I say to you, it is not about having everything, it is about having enough obedience. I have chosen the weak to shame the strong. I have used the overlooked to confuse the wise. So do not measure your worth by human approval. My approval surpasses every applause, every admiring glance, every resume of achievement. You were chosen not because you stood out, but because you allowed yourself to be shaped in the secret place. You were anointed not because you were excellent, but because you were surrendered. And that, my child, is why you are more precious to me than gold or gems. You will see what seemed dead within you come alive again. Forgotten dreams will rise with power. Hearts once closed will open as you draw near. Doors long shut will open of their own accord, not because of your persuasion, but because I have gone before you. I have orchestrated divine encounters. spiritual connections, and even seemingly random events that are, in fact, perfectly linked in the design I've written just for you. As you walk in obedience step by step, you'll begin to see those links form a complete China spiritual symphony where I am the conductor and you are the echoing melody. My child, there will be those who do not understand what you carry. Some will not walk with you when you choose to follow the stirring within. Do not be afraid of that. Not everyone is assigned the same mission. Not everyone is called to go as far as you have been called. And not everyone has the authority to confirm what I have placed in your heart. Therefore, learn to remain silent when necessary, and speak only when I give you the timing and the voice. True wisdom is not found in saying much, but in saying precisely what I have spoken at the exact moment I have appointed. And when that moment comes, a single word from you can break chains that have bound others for years. I also want you to know that the season you are entering is not only for receiving, but for becoming one who gives. I have not placed you in a position of influence so that you may be exalted, but so that you may lift up, stir awake, and restore. The wounded will come near you. Weary souls will seek you out, and they will not need what comes from your own strength. They need my presence within you. They need to see my eyes through your gaze. They need to hear my voice in the comfort you offer. They need to feel my heart in the way you reach out to them. And in that moment, you will realize miracles are not always instantaneous. They often happen when a soul is touched at the right time, in the right way, and by the right heavenly source. My beloved, this is the moment for you to step up decisively. No more wavering between two camps. No more living between light and shadow. No more withholding anything I am asking for. Spiritual transformation always requires surrender, letting go of personal plans, private ideals, and self-control. And when you give fully, when you walk in total submission, you will see that what I promised is no longer a distant future, but a present reality before your eyes. My child, before you step into the final portion of this heavenly journey, I want you to pause to retreat, but to breathe deeply and become fully aware that you are standing at the threshold where the old fades away and the new is about to flood in. This is a pivotal moment where every choice will echo into generations. This is not merely your hour, it is the hour of a lineage. What you decide today will shape the doors that open for those who come after you. So I am calling you to choose the path of complete obedience. No hesitation, no delay, no wavering. For hesitation in this season is no longer harmless, it will result in immeasurable loss. I have seen your heart where questions dwell that no one knows, where inner wrestlings unfold, unseen. You have asked me many times, am I enough? Am I on the right path? Am I just imagining all of this? And my child, I do not rebuke you for those questions. I am the one who formed your mind. I understand your need for confirmation. But I say this to you, true faith is not built on fleeting feelings, but on trust in my steadfastness. When you do not see me moving, I am still arranging. When you hear nothing, I am still speaking deeply into your soul. Remember those I have used: Abraham before he saw the promised land, Joseph in chains, Moses in the wilderness, Elijah in exhaustion. None of them knew the whole story, yet they walked forward because they believed I was the author of it. Now I ask you, are you willing to trust me enough to walk without seeing it all? Will you lay down the safety of the familiar to receive the calling heaven has written just for you? Will you dare to say yes, even if that yes means walking a road few choose, yet one that I walk with you. For if you dare, I promise, every wall will fall before you. Every door thought to be closed will burst open as you step forward. Territories of the soul that were once held captive will be reclaimed. Things you have never even asked for will be added. And the light you carry will cause darkness to flee without a single threat. My child, I did not call you to be strong in your own strength, but to be a faithful vessel. Every strength will come from me. Every blessing will flow from my source, and every victory will bring glory to my name. The more you surrender in humility, the more I will raise you up in glory. When you choose to keep a tender heart in a hardened world, I will use that very tenderness to touch the fractured. When you choose to love despite being hurt, forgive without being asked, and give even without return, then you are most like me, and in that place, resurrection power will flow from within you. Prepare yourself, for the season you are about to enter will not resemble any you've known before. What you once saw as limitations will become launching points. Dreams that once felt too large will begin to quietly and steadily take form. People you never imagined needing you will begin to seek you out for healing. And it will be in the smallest gesture, kind word, a compassionate glance, an embrace that doors to miracles will swing open. You do not need to do something grand for me to use. You just be willing. Greatness lies not in the act, but in the obedient heart. My beloved, remember this: I do not speak a word and then forget it. My word is a seed, carrying within it a harvest already determined. Even if the soil seems barren, even if the rain has not come, even if no one around you believes in what I have placed within you, the word still lives, still moves, still works quietly within the unfolding of time. I will bring to completion every work I have begun. I am not a man who forgets a promise. I am the Lord your God, faithful through all generations. And if I have begun a holy work in you, no force, no voice, no circumstance can interrupt it so long as your heart remains fully mine. Sorrise, my child, take a deep breath. Rekindle the flickering flame of faith. Renew the covenant between us, and move forward with fresh assurance. You are not walking alone. You are not carrying this calling in isolation. You are covered by my presence, upheld by my heavenly host, and affirmed by my voice from the throne. Walk forward, for the door is open. The new journey awaits, and your time has come. Now, my child, I will bring you into the final portion of the word I have spoken over you since before time began. This is not the end, but the sacred beginning of a mighty season about to unfold. The words spoken before were to prepare your heart, awaken your spirit, and make room for the seed I have sown to take root deeply within you. Now, I want you to understand more than ever, you are chosen not because of strength or merit, but because of my grace-appointed destiny. You have been set apart to be a divine bridge between what is in heaven and what is about to manifest on earth. Remember, I did not call you to an easy journey. Those I choose to carry light must first walk through darkness. Those I appoint as guides must know every rugged path. So if you have endured deep loneliness, unbearable wounds, or days when your only prayer was a broken breath, know that this was not abandonment, but refining. I never took my eyes off you. I was with you when you felt most lost. I was warming your soul like a mother hen brooding over her eggs, waiting for the moment you would burst forth into the new life that heaven has prepared. My child, right now, a sacred turning point is drawing near. Everything I have prepared, every word I have spoken, every dream yet to take shape, they are all converging in the time I have appointed. Pay close attention to the movements around you. They are not random. The people you happen to meet, the conversations that seem fleeting, the events that come and go, each is being woven together in a divine network. The links in that network move in ways only I can fully see. And you, yes, you, are a vital part of it. I have engraved your name upon the palm of my hand, and your cries have never echoed into emptiness. When you whispered brief words, unsure if anyone could hear, heaven leaned in to listen. When your tears fell silently in the night, they did not disappear. I have preserved them like sacred gems in a holy vial, etched into my eternal memory. What you thought was forgotten, you still remember. What you assumed had passed, I am still using to weave a perfect tapestry for your soul. Do not underestimate the power of small things. A timely word you speak, a simple act of love, a forgiveness you offer, though your heart still aches, all of it resonates with the heartbeat of heaven. Nothing done in my name is ever in vain. You may feel too weak to make a difference, but I tell you this, if even one person stands firm in faith, I can redirect the course of an entire generation, just as I used Gideon and 300 men to overcome an army as numerous as the sand on the seashore, just as I used Stephen to testify among wolves, planting seeds that would transform Saul into Paul. I can use you, if only you dare to believe me enough. My beloved, this is the moment I want you to stop doubting yourself. Every condemning word from your past, every voice that made you hesitate, every fear that whispered, "You're not enough," let them dissolve in this truth. I have called you by your own name, and you belong to me. What others couldn't see in you, I saw long before you were formed in your mother's womb. I've poured treasures into you that no one can steal, and I have not called you to walk alone. I have sent angels ahead of you to clear the path. I have poured out my spirit within you to give you strength from above. I have placed you within a spiritual family to uphold you when your heart grows weary. Stand firm. Do not tremble because of the storms around you. The winds may blow hard. The waters may rise high, but I am the rock that cannot be shaken. When you anchor yourself in my word, no force can sweep you away. The prophetic words I placed in your heart were not meant to die. They will live. They will bear fruit. They will become blessings to many. But first, you must believe. You must dare to dream again. You must open your mouth and declare what I have spoken. As you open your heart to receive what I am revealing, you will begin to notice the small signs shifting around you like sacred puzzle pieces fitting together in my sovereign hand. You will feel something shift in the atmosphere, a subtle stirring, a deep knowing that words cannot describe. Dreams that once seemed scattered will begin to repeat more clearly. Numbers, scripture verses, unexpected conversations, all will carry meaning. Like holy reminders I'm sending to guide your steps. Know this, I do not speak with noise, but my voice is unmistakable. I do not force myself into chaos, but I ring clear in hearts that are awake. If you are willing to be still, to disconnect from the noise of the world, you will hear me. I am in the morning breath, in the gentle breeze, in the glance of a person you never expected to carry an answer. I am using everything to say to you, the time has come. Let your eyes be opened. Let your ears be sensitive. Let your heart be ready to receive all that I am releasing. My dear one, it is no accident that what once felt normal now feels uneasy. It is no coincidence that the places which once brought comfort now feel stifling. I am shifting you away from what is old and no longer fitting the depth I am forming in you. This is not loss, it is reformation. It is not rejection, it is redirection of destiny. The relationships you thought were foundational are now fracturing. Not because you failed, but because I am clearing the way. What cannot go with you into the next season is fading. Let them go. Do not mourn what I remove from your hands, for what I am about to place in them is far greater. You are stepping into a time where the supernatural will become your new normal. The prayers you've whispered on your knees for years are about to explode into reality. You will encounter strangers who suddenly feel like divine appointments and at the right place and time to complete a link you didn't even know was missing. Doors long shut will begin to open not by your strength, but by my hand. But remember, not every open door is from me. Ask me. Learn to discern between what merely looks good and what truly comes from me. I do not just pave the way, I illuminate every step you take on it. In this season, you will see light and darkness collide more fiercely than ever. But do not be afraid. The collision is not to destroy you, but to reveal who truly belongs to me. I am shaking all things, so that only what is unshakable remains. What is fake will be exposed. What is built on unrighteousness will collapse. But if you stand on my word, you will not be moved. Anchor your mind in truth, so no matter what happens, you remain in peace. My child, it is in the shaking that I will position you exactly where you are meant to be. I will open your eyes to see your true role in my kingdom, no longer confused, no longer uncertain, but with a deep, unshakable knowing that you were made for such a time as this. Be watchful over your words, for your mouth will carry new authority. A single declaration from your lips when in alignment with my spirit can shift an entire circumstance. So speak not carelessly. Do not repeat the words of doubt spoken over you by others. Speak my word. Let your mouth become a living spring watering dry places, healing broken hearts. Wait in stillness if nothing seems clear yet. Do not rush. I am never late, but I am also never in a hurry. My timing is perfect. I am working behind the scenes before the curtain rises. And when it does, you will see that every moment of pain, confusion, and delay has laid the foundation for something radiant. Not one sorrow has been wasted. Not a single tear has fallen without my response. Every day of faithfulness, every moment you chose me over temptation, every time you stood when you felt like falling, each one is accumulating, building layers of glory that will break forth in your new season. Now is the time to be brave. Now is the time to step forward, not with show, but with conviction. This is not the time to shrink back for fear of failure, but to advance in trust that I will correct your steps if they falter. You do not need to see the whole map, just obey one step at a time. Each step you take in faith will unlock the next. Obey even when you see no result. Trust even when you don't yet understand. For I am Jehovah Nissi, your banner of victory. I am your guarantee, your provider, your unfailing Father who never breaks a promise. My beloved child, listen closely, for I am speaking the final words of this message. What I have sown into your soul will not be forgotten, nor will it be lost. Every command, every promise, every warning has been sealed in the spiritual realm. And I am the one who keeps my word and watches over its fulfillment. Not a single word that proceeds from my mouth will return void, just as no seed I plant in your heart is without its harvest. What I have revealed to you in this season is not merely for encouragement, it is for alignment, not to soothe temporary pain, but to propel you into eternal purpose. You will not be the same after hearing these words. For my Spirit is renewing your mind and touching places within you that you had not yet perceived. I have walked with you through every layer of darkness. I was there when you felt alone. I whispered in the wind when you couldn't find words to pray. I used even the silence to grow your faith. For in that silence I was strengthening your heart. And now, I declare this to you, the old season has ended. The cycles of doubt, fear, and failure have been broken. The invisible chains you could not remove have been severed by my power. You need not look back to check if they remain. They have been cast into the abyss of forgetfulness. Now, rise, wipe your tears, and walk as one who has been redeemed. You are my anointed one for this hour, not because you are perfect, but because you are willing, not because you know much, but because you opened your heart. I do not need strength as the world sees it. I need yielded hearts. And your surrender has reached my throne. Your humility has drawn my grace. From this moment, you will no longer walk as someone merely surviving, but as one who knows they are sent. The things that once troubled you will fall away. The chaos that clouded your vision will lift. For now you will begin to see with spiritual eyes, seeing what I see, feeling what I feel, and acting from my heart. A new wave of grace is coming to you. It is not like those before. It is deeper, stronger, and enduring, not just to uplift, but to transform, not merely to comfort for a moment, but to bring complete renewal. As you breathe in this new atmosphere, old burdens will no longer cling to you. When you speak in my name, the resonance of heaven will follow. When you pray, heaven and earth will shift in response. For now, you are not only one who loves me, you are one who partners with me. I will show you things never before seen. I will lead you into realms you've never entered, not for your glory, but that my glory may be revealed through you. Those who doubted you will marvel. Those who walked away will return to witness my faithfulness. But do not fix your eyes on theirs, fix them on me. You are not called to prove, but to obey and shine. When I lift you, you need not strive to stay there. When I place you, no one can replace you. That place was inscribed with your name before the foundation of the world. Do not be afraid of the scale of what is coming. I did not choose you to abandon you. I did not call you to leave you. I will equip you with all you need: wisdom for decisions, boldness to step out, tenderness to love, and discernment to navigate. Each day, I will provide what is needed. You do not need to store up understanding. You need only to rely on me step by step. For every step with me is a lesson, a preparation, a layer of revelation. My beloved one, from this moment forward, I call you by a new name. A name no one else can carry, a name only you and I know in the Spirit. That name is written in light, sealed in the covenant of blood, and resounds among the angels. It carries your assignment, your mission, and the authority you've been given. You are not merely a person living on earth. You are a sign of heaven on earth, a living witness of my mercy, a testament to my power to transform. Keep your heart tender. Keep your ears attuned. Keep your hands open. For from now on, you no longer live for yourself. You will become a stream of restoration. Where there is wounding, you will bring healing. Where there is darkness, you will bring light. Where there is despair, you will plant hope. Not by your strength, but because I live in you. Let me love through you. Let me speak through your words. Let me walk through your steps. And when your earthly journey comes to an end, the light within you will not go out. It will continue to burn in the lives you've touched. Your words will echo through generations. Your footprints will clear the path for those who follow. And on that day, when all things are fulfilled, I will embrace you and say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with little. I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your Lord." And so, my child, go. Go in my glory. Go in my light. Go with a heart of gratitude and with confident steps. The battle has been won. The door is open, and you are walking in the fulfillment of my word, your Heavenly Father. Thank you for tuning in to today's message. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so we can continue receiving the living word together, building an unshakable faith, and walking in the boundless love of the Lord. Amen.